Hello, everyone. Travis here on week 11 of the North American LCS, joined by Xpecial of Team Curse, fresh off of their victory over TSM. Now, Xpecial, I talked to some of the LCS broadcast people here who informed me that I had to, talk along the storylines and drama thing. The first question I had to ask you about was you hugging Wild Turtle, which obviously is a huge deal. We started off this split with you denying him a hug, and now at the very end, the final day of the split, you've hugged him. What was the emotional journey that it took for you to get to this point?
Well, part of it was the first week. It was too early, and here, Bjergsen, he always takes initiative. He just we just had a hug too, and then next was Turtle, and then the handshake and the hug. Didn't really want to like. It just felt right, you know. It wasn't. Looking back, probably should have hugged him the first week, but at the same time, I wasn't ready for it. And here, I think I think both sides have moved on. I think it's really that's the biggest reason. And um, yeah, honestly, I think it's good that we beat them, not just for us but for them too. They probably don't want to play us in playoffs. We're looking really strong, and yeah, I kind of want to see TSM in the finals. It'd be really cool, or hopefully not the third place match.
So this is kind of like a situation where you can both sort of look back and remember the fond memories, but understand why it couldn't have worked out.
Well, I think it's about time that we beat them. I mean, it's like
I mean, for the hug.
I know. I meant that. I mean, like they had three chances to hug me. Now it's finally my turn to hug. So it's just fair. Yes.
It's good to know that it's all balanced out. Now, so you think that you guys are coming in really strong right now? You think, and obviously it's your opinion that you guys have started to catch up here. Do you think that by playoffs you're going to be able to start smashing some faces in?
I hope so. And the best thing about it is that there's no complexity or EG now, so the chances of us doing well playoff is pretty high, since those two teams were they just crush us, and they're not in playoffs, so our chances are just way higher.
I believe right now that it's looking as though you're going to be playing CLG. Is that? Yeah, that's what it looks like. Depending on 100%. Okay, because I didn't know if they won their game against C9, if that
No,
affected it.
only affects seeding. It makes it so that they get two sides, or if they lose, then we choose sides. No.
You're going to be playing this team that has gotten off a plane from Korea, has had this Monte Cristo infusion of coaching goodness. I've read Reddit. Apparently, he's kind of like a god coach. Do you have any kind of intimidation, or do you think that you guys might have an edge, considering that they'll have just come in, from Korea and all that kind of thing?
It's actually a bit scary since we don't know how much practice they are getting there. I like to hope that we're still better than them or we can beat them. And I mean, I'm going to the game thinking that, but at the same time, they are probably practicing really hard right now and they have a good shot of doing well. But hopefully, we practice even harder and do even better and just show good things.
Whenever you play at the LCS, you have the ability to look at the games that your opponents played just the previous week. You also only have to worry about it being like a best of one, and oftentimes it's even like the same patch that they played on last week. Going into the CLG match, you guys will have this opponent who you haven't seen played for like a month. There's going to be a new patch. How do you prepare for something like that?
It's really hard. We have to just ban and pick stuff in a way where we get what we want, and just try to predict what they'll ban and stuff like that. Just very limited information. That first game is gonna be a lot, just so you get the momentum, and not only that, you can see like how much has the team improved in those 3 or 4 weeks, and what kind of picks do they tend towards, and all these really important things that I don't even know if we can really learn to adapt so quickly. Just we're not used to best out of five, but I think in a best out of five situation, we tend to do better. We usually kind of falter the first game in a series or like first game in a week. So I think best out of five actually favors us quite a bit.
I know you have limited information right now, but would you guess that it'll go to 5 games either way?
I would hope not. I think it'll be like a four game. I think 3-1 for us. But obviously that's just me being confident, me being fresh off a win, and not knowing how good CLG is. But obviously, want to win, and I mean, if it goes 5 games, then whatever. As long as we get the win.
Refresh my memory. What has your record against CLG been over the split? Because I know they did really well against Dignitas, who they might have played, but
We're 3-1, so we have the advantage.
Very good. Now, I'm also kind of curious what you think the new patch will affect in terms of that game. Like, do you think that there'll be a lot of different picks and that kind of thing? Is it going to be really hard to prepare for that?
I think for top lane, it's gonna be a lot of the same things, just because there aren't too many nerfs. Lu got nerfed a little bit, but she's still annoying. Mid lane's gonna be the big X factor. People, even this very same week, Voivoy was playing all these random mids, and people were just playing anything and everything. It's crazy. Bot lane, I think it'll be fairly similar, except with the addition of Lucian. And some nerfs you supports are going to bring back Alistar and stuff, and that we could see Afromu on that. And jungle, I think jungle is fairly similar. Might be a couple new ones, but I don't think there's anything too new. But yeah, the new patch is honestly, this is one of the biggest patches they have done before tournament, and I'm kind of surprised. But at the same time, it's gonna make for really fun games, to make for a lot of new champions potentially, and I don't know. It's just any team can win. That's the scariest thing.
If you had to discuss, what Curse has done over the course of the split, I mean, this is your first split with them. How have they changed from like the very first game that you played on the LCS stage with them to today?
Overall, it feels like as if not too much has changed. I like in game, early game has always been our forte. We still do really well early game, and I think what we have really fixed is just being able to transition that into the mid and late, and that's really just shot calling, not greeting too hard for objectives. Like the best thing about Curse, the team, is that they love to fight. They're really good at fighting, and that's a good and bad thing. It means that team fights we tend to win them, but at the same time, if we fought a 4v5 last game, and it's like stuff like that could potentially throw a game, but we played so well and we were so far ahead and it didn't really matter. And we just need to keep that up, just play early game well and just snowball that. And it's just actually really reminiscent of TSM back in season 3. Is just how we always won lane and just transition that into mid and late. And I think Curse is looking really good. I'm really proud of the players, proud of just how much progress we've done, and glad that we're finally putting some wins on the board and just potentially going fourth again. Just kind of ironic actually, but I guess it's better than fifth.
Yeah. Any shout outs, plugs, anything you'd like to say here at the end?
As always, just big thanks to all the fans that have been supporting us. I know the Super Week has been looking really good, but we need to just make sure that we can carry that into playoffs. That's really the big goal for us. And as usual, and always, just huge shout out to our sponsors, Astro, Azubu, Alienware, Cooler Master, and Energems. These guys, they've always been supporting us. And I guess part of the reason why we're just so good is because we get a lot of Energems. Yeah. So, yeah. Thank you guys, and thank you, Marky and Travis, for this interview. And see you guys in 3 weeks of playoffs.
I don't even know who this marking guy is. You can check out the rest of our coverage of all things esports at ongamers.com.